Early tracking for Rise of Skywalker, and it says right now to Box Office Pro is saying it can open anywhere between 185 and 225 million, which would be the lowest in the sequel era.
Still a lot of money.
That is a lot of money, and I would go probably even higher. I didn't know. Some people are hovering around that 185, going, look, 185. This says to 225.
I think that'll like 205, 210.
I think that's probably accurate, and and if people are going to use that to say, it's the lowest, there's no argument that there's a lot of people who have lost interest in Star Wars. I mean, that's a given. We know
I still
that.
think the people that hated Last Jedi are going to go see it. I still think.
I think that there will be a lot.
Yes.
But I don't think all of them.
No,
but I think
a
a lot because they want to see if either it's finally they can get back on board with it, or no, see it's completely fucked. Right. But what for anybody to say that this means it's going to be a bomb is ridiculous. It's not going to be a bomb. But there is merit to the fact that it's not. It doesn't hold the same weight that it used to when Force Awakens came out and all. It's just the franchise it's in a different state. It doesn't have that gleam of the Yankees that they did when the Yankees today are still trying. They won a championship in 2009. Mm-hmm. The gleam is you're trying to get the shine back on. Is this the one that's going to win them the World Series? I don't know, but maybe it's. I still think, and I've said it a billion times. I'm sorry, I know, but I think that the Mandalorian and the TV shows are the way that Star Wars is going to win back the majority of the fan base.
Yeah, I agree.
Here, so I watch Dan Patrick every morning while I'm getting ready, and they have 4 guys, and they're all talking about Star Wars because the Rise of Skywalker premiered during Monday Night Football. Right. It's a sports talk show. So, and they were all saying like, yeah, man, they're casual Star Wars fans, just like a lot of my other friends were, and they're like, you know what, I've really actually enjoyed this latest trilogy. What you're getting at here is like the casual Star Wars fan that doesn't have as much invested as people like us.
That have lives unlike us, basically.
Right. Or have enjoyed these movies, right? Yeah. It's the fact that your diehard Star Wars fans that buy repeat tickets after tickets after tickets. A lot of those people were soured by The Last Jedi. Yeah. So maybe they go see either Rise of Skywalker out of spite, or you don't get those repeat tickets, which a lot of the those hundreds of billions of dollars, unless it's really good. Right. Yeah. Then the word of mouth. I guarantee you, it's like when I stopped watching The Walking Dead for a little bit, and somebody's like, "Hey, you got to get back into it." So I got back into it, and I whatever. Or certain shows, like I stopped watching Justified, and then I got back into Justified. Same as Dexter, even though Dexter didn't really end that well. Is once the word of mouth comes and you want to be part of the word of mouth, it sucks you right back.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing about Star Wars though, and other big franchises like this, is that people are gonna not necessarily the people that had issues with that are boycotting the movie, Get a Life, but there's gonna be a lot of repeat viewers no matter what, because I noticed with this, and I was away on vacation, but I could still see my feed when I came back that people were just joyfully watching the trailer because we all grew up with these movies, right? Yeah. So and each trilogy has been different, right? There's a trilogy for everyone. Mine's the original. You guys keep your new ones. That's great. Some of them are fun, but it's still this kind of. It's become like a religion almost. Yeah. Like it's like people want to see this with their families, right? I make it a point that because I grew up with these movies with my family, we are going to see this movie together at Christmas, and it's a big event because it's the end of the saga.
Yes, and it's a great point because if you look, and we talked about this with the prequels, right? The prequels have gotten a lot more love these days because the people who grew up with them now, it's their Star Wars movies, right? Yeah. Exactly. Our Star Wars movies were the original trilogy. Right. Now, the younger generation, like my daughter, right? The prequels and the original trilogy and the new trilogy are her movies, right? This is the most adorable conversation I had with my daughter yesterday. I was walking with her to this fair they call the Halloween Hoot. She's like you, by the way. She bailed off the haunted house line 2 years in a row.
That's my girl.
She wanted nothing to do with it because her friend were online, and her friend's sitting there, and she goes, or in the line, whatever the fuck you want to say, and her friend goes, oh yeah, at the end something happens, and she goes, what happens? She goes, tell me, and she's like, no, I don't want to tell you. She's like, tell me. Right? And she was like, well, their heads pop off. Right. She's like, I'm leaving. I want to leave. I go, Vivian, their heads don't really pop off. She's like, I don't want my head to pop off. So we left. But anyway, on the way to the Hoot, as we're walking to this thing, she's like, we were talking about her being a teenager. She's like, I'll always love you guys. I go, yeah, but you'll be annoyed with us when you get old. That's part of being a teenager. When you get to a certain age, you're gonna come and you say, oh, I want to hang out with my friends. Dad, I don't want to watch Star Wars anymore. She's like, what? She's like, I'm not gonna say that. And I go, you will. And she's like, no way.
That's awesome. It was get that in a recording.
It was pretty adorable. I know, funny. but the point is that she's connected to all these movies. She's watching Last Jedi now. My wife is a very casual Star Wars fan. Doesn't like the original trilogies. Doesn't like the prequels. Loves
the new stuff.
Loves the new stuff. Can't wait for it.
Like that, yeah.
Because she's a casual. The thing is why a lot of people, myself included, when I'm watching The Last Jedi with my daughter again, and I find more and more problems every time I watch it. But that's because a lot of expectations and things that I have and things that I just don't think fit towards certain characters. Yeah, my wife doesn't watch Star Wars. Like
we're nerds. Yeah, we get it. We're Star Wars nerds. They're not.
But Josh's point of that casual fan just going to see a Star Wars movie isn't saying, well, that's not the way Luke would act. I say that because I'm rich people who are passionate about it. That's what pissed them off. The casual fan is paying the money. They just want to see fucking lightsabers. They want to see the Force. They want to see stormtroopers, and that's why these movies continue to make money.
And I think that that's actually more of a higher percentage of people than we think, right?
Yes,
because we're in this nerd space. But even just with my immediate
the majority.
With my immediate family, like my brother and I can go back and forth and be like, well, they should have done this, and like we're all like fucking losers about it, right? But my mom, like my nieces, they're all just there to be like, hey, I recognize that character.
They just want to go on a space adventure.
Score.
Yes. No,
exactly.
I got in a text exchange with my sister and her fiance and my mom. We're going to go see Star Wars on Christmas Day, right? Yes, we are. Let's get tickets. Great. And we have a little bit of analytics on this. The Atom tickets, it beat the pre-sales of Endgame within the first hour.
Well, the first hour, but overall it didn't.
Not yet. Yeah. But
just
they're just doing little tiny It's almost like, I know it's a little bit clickbait to say this, but I think there's also they're monitoring. They're going like, let's see. I think there is people wanting to know.
The movie's gonna make a lot of money. It'll probably make less than The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
I think it'll make less. Yes, it'll make less than The Last Jedi because
I don't know. It's the last, but it's closing out the saga, though.
The saga.
I do think it'll make less.
You're a
I'm a cynic.
I think it's going to make a lot worldwide. It could be. I think it could make more worldwide than
Force
Last
Awakens?
Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Than
Last Jedi.
Yes, because they're closing out the Skywalker saga. I mean, it's over. This is the last movie.
I don't think it's a terrible argument. I think it's probably possible, but I don't know. I just don't think that it's going to be a disappointment at any stretch of the imagination. It's going to make a lot of money, and it'll be yet another Star Wars movie that breaks records in December, which to this day, as brilliant as I think Bob Iger is, one of the dopiest decisions he ever made was Han Solo and May. Right. 2 weeks after Infinity War.
He's even saying it.
I know. He said it. He's like,
whoops.
That's one thing.
I'm going to take that's my bad on that one.
Yeah,
That's a
whoopsie daisy over here.
That's an oops.